When your playoff life is on the line, you either show up or you go home. And the Indiana Fever, with their season hanging in the balance, didn't just show up against the Seattle Storm. They decided to burn the whole place down. And this wasn't just a win, it was a 95-75 public dismantling, a message sent to the entire WNBA. But here's the crazy part. They did it without their rookie phenom, Caitlin Clark, who was watching from the sidelines. And maybe even crazier, the arena was dead for most of the night. It raises a fascinating question, one you should ask about your own life. Does a team or a family or a community need a superstar to feel alive? Or is the real energy found when everyone decides to be a leader? Let's break down a beautiful, confusing, and dominant performance that has to have you questioning everything about this team. So let's be clear, the pressure on the Fever was immense. Before the game, Indiana and Seattle was locked in a desperate battle for the playoff position. A loss could have been a knockout blow. The stage was set for a tense, down to the wire nail biter. But what's baffling is how the little fight Seattle put up. And for a team with nearly an identical record, they look surprisingly shallow, especially when you compare them to the gritty overachievement we've seen from a team like the Golden State Rockies. And with this win, the Fever now match Seattle's 20-18 record, creating a dead heat in the standings. And that makes every game and every point critical, especially with the season series tiebreak on the line. And on paper, a struggling injury plagued Fever team should have been on the ropes. So, what happened? This is where the uncomfortable truth about this team and maybe about leadership in general. This win felt like it happened because the players took control, not because some grand coaching strategy. And it makes you wonder, are they winning because of the system or are they winning despite it? And from the opening tip, the Fever played like a team with something to prove. And it felt like the coaches had the best seats in the house to watch them do it. And they came out with a free flowing aggression that left Seattle scrambling and scraping. And they jumped out to a 26-20 first quarter lead and just keep their foot on the gas. And we know that they're good for starting off explosive with the first half. And the veteran guards, Kelsey Mitchell and Odessa Sims, basically put the team on their backs. And Mitchell was unconscious, hitting big shot after big shot, while Sims controlled the tempo and gave the crowd one of the few lifts of the night with a huge three-pointer. But here's the thing. Even as the league swelled to 20, then 30 points, the building had no juice. And it proves a lesson this league keeps teaching us. It's star driven. Without Caitlin Clark or even a player like Sophia Cunningham on the floor, the energy just wasn't the same. It begs the question: what are we really cheering for? A win or the person who gets the win? And by halftime, Indiana was up 50-39, but the real story was a team finding its way in a quiet gym. And then if the first half was the players taking the wheel, the third quarter was Aliyah Boston flooring the accelerator and driving the team into another dimension, baby. And this is where the game just was put away for good. And Boston came out of the locker room and decided to play mad. And that's the gear she needs to live in. And it's the same for so many talented people who have the potential, but don't always bring the fire. So, what in your life requires you to stop waiting for permission and just get angry enough to dominate? Boston was a monster. She demanded the ball, fought through the struggles that sometimes plague her early in the games, and just bullied Seattle's front court. She finished with 27 points and 9 rebounds. But the numbers don't tell the story. It was the way she did it with relentless aggression. And that's what this team needs every single night. And in the biggest moments, you don't need a coach to draw you a play. You need your best player to decide she will not be denied. Boston did that. And in doing so, she didn't just win a game, she provided a blueprint for her own greatness. And while Leah Boston was the star, the victory was forged in toughness from the entire roster. So the most telling stat, Indiana out-rebounded Seattle 42-41, and that isn't coaching, that's pure grit, baby. And that's a decision every player makes to be tougher than their opponent. And Lexie Hull was the poster child for this, man. I mean, this is Caitlin Clark showing up phenomenally. You know, we all know that Nike and her new logo, just her Nike and her logo, not new logo, but logo, no, a new logo to the Nike base has arrived, right? So Caitlin Clark, you know, she had the skirt on, the pants, I should say the pants with the logo of hers and encrypted in the pants with the Nike crop top vest. And that was tough. And then you had the stands. The fans was gifted was Caitlin was here. And I think that's phenomenal. I think that's humorous because we know that Caitlin Clark is humorous. And look, this is her rocking the walk and walking the talk. And I love the pants, man. It's classy, but it's chill, but it look comfortable. You feel me? So her doing her thing, and I believe she had the Air Force Ones on, the classics, which is hard to get nowadays. It's like a souvenir when it comes to the shoe game and when it comes to, you know, selling shoes. The Air Force Ones that Nike just seemed to draw back and really make them things be a gold a gold rush of, you know, a gold mine when it comes to shoe collections now because they holding back on their Air Force Ones. But Caitlin Clark was here to show them. And with that being said, man, she they did their thing, man. And you can't get mad about that. And let me look it up. So refresh the latest. So this is her all decided look. Fit check. It's the fit check.
Necklace.
Gotta love the fit.
Zipper. Wait. Zipper.
You know. With the CC
Everything.
logo
Feels
on the
good.
zipper, man. You can't make this stuff up, man. Phenomenal. She deserves it. She deserves all the success. And finally, Nike stop being a fool and stop being ignorant and start actually giving her credit, which we all know she greatly deserved. And Nike just needed to stop playing games with that. But yeah, this was her in the fit, man. Walking in the arena, doing her thing and chilling with the shades on. You gotta love the shades with the Air Forces, the clean forces, baby. Cleaner than snow. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about the snow that comes seasonally wherever state you in. I'm talking about snow of Antarctica, baby. So with that being said, this was Lexie Hull becoming the poster child. And I have to mute the audio due to copyright purposes. But basically, it was a nasty collision between Lexie Hull and Gabby Williams, and Lexie Hull headed to the locker room. And dang, man, it was like a football knockdown with that, man. It was crazy how it all happened. Boom, you know, and they just wasn't paying attention. They was both in motion, you know, and look, man, happens, man, happens. You'll be surprised at the things that happen. So the ball, you know, one of the teammates on the Seattle had the ball. The ball got loose. Like y'all was hustling for it. Next thing you know, Seattle Storm teammate, the other teammate was trying to get the ball, and they ran into each other. But however, update. Lacey all pretty
Happened on
good,
that
man.
play.
She
Well, I didn't know exactly what happened when it happened. It was kind of just like a clash. But looking at the video, it just, Gabby and I ran into each other. Unfortunate, unlucky. I think we both have knots on our heads, so we both kept playing, so it's all right.
Were you pretty dazed when you?
Yeah. I think it's more of like what just happened, big like collision. I just need some time. Felt my face, felt a growing knot. So that doesn't feel good.
How long did it take you to kind of get your bearings and like get recollected?
Honestly, it was pretty quick.
That's a
went
good
back
sign.
to the tunnel, and the trainers did a great job of making sure I was good, not completely out of it, which I wasn't. More than anything, just trying to get the swelling down, the immediate ice, making sure my neck was good, checking all the boxes, but it didn't take too long.
Getting back on the bench, was everybody just kind of staring at your forehead directly? And...
I knew yeah. Everyone's like, "You look beautiful." I'm like, "I know I look insane," but it honestly looks.
Well, that's good. She's in great spirits, and she's being humorous and being positive about the whole thing. And look, man, hopefully everything is good. I mean, she's still in her right mind, was able to recollect things pretty quickly. So hopefully it's not a concussion, just to leave that out there. But let's get back to talking about the game, man, because this was phenomenal. So Aliyah Boston. Let me see if we can pull up some clips of Aliyah Boston. I'm gonna have to mute the audio, of course, due to copyright purposes. But Aliyah Boston, man, she was doing her thing. She got 1,000 career rebounds, baby. Shout out to her. She had 27 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks. and she was doing her thing, man. You see her right here with the mid jumper, mid range. So, look, Lexie Hall was the poster child for that. And she took that head-on-head collision, came back into the game, and still fought for rebounds, even when her shot wasn't falling. That's character. That's the stuff the championship teams are made of. But even in a 20-point blowout, questions linger. Why does it seem like a player like Michaela Timpson is in the coach's doghouse, only getting minutes when a play is long decided? And it's the kind of thing that makes you scratch your head, because when players are clicking and playing as a unit, the team looks unstoppable. And Coach Stephanie White is a genius as long as she doesn't have to do too much coaching. And this win was a total team effort, but it felt like one that bubbled up from the players, not one that was dictated from the sideline. And this win was a statement, but what is it really saying? Does this blowout prove that the feverish system is working, or does it show that the players' talent and aggression can win games on their own? And what's more important for this team's playoff ceiling, Aliyah Boston playing mad, or a coach who can get the most out of every player on the roster? Drop your honest opinion in the comments below. And if you appreciate the breakdown, hit that subscribe button. So what's the big picture? This 95-75 demolition does more than just tie the fever with Seattle in the standings at 20 wins, matching their total from the last season. It gives us a glimpse of this team's terrifying potential. They have proven they are more than just Caitlin Clark, and they are deep. They are tough, and when they play with a collective chip on their shoulder, they are flat out dominant. And this win, born from player-led resilience, is ultimate good news / bad news situation. The good news is they have the heart and the talent of a contender. The bad news, you have to wonder if they can sustain it. With Caitlin Clark's return reportedly just days away, the timing couldn't be more perfect, and this just wasn't a win to stay in a playoff hunt. It was a warning shot. The Indiana Fever are a team that has figured out how to win on their own terms, and that makes them the most dangerous team no one will want to face. But I'll catch you next one. Love you guys. Peace.